Hello, my lovely Gemini. Today is your reading for March, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. So here's your card here. Boom. If you would like a private reading or if you would like to book one with me, then go ahead and email me at lovefromaleo@gmail.com. I have all of my information down below in the description box. And the card that we got for your overall month as a subject is Capricorn. So what this means is, obviously, if you have a Capricorn in your life that you are very close with, then this is someone that is going to be involved in this reading. But if not, then it's just saying that the way that you should go in March is going to be like based on your structure and work and life and kind of building a foundation for yourself. As we know, Capricorn is an earth sign. So, oh my gosh, I gotta turn this down. It's on my nerves. As we know, Capricorn is an earth sign, and they're very, very committed to building a foundation and kind of spinning gold from nothing. So ambition is going to be a huge thing for you this month. Structure, work, finances, domestic life, or maybe your home. All of those things are going to be playing into your March as a Gemini, okay? Pisces also got Capricorn as their subject as well. So if you have any placements in Pisces, or you have someone who's very important to you that's a Pisces, you may want to check out that reading and cross read or watch for yourself. Let's get started. The beginning of March for Gemini. So we're starting off with the World card in reverse. So this isn't terrible, but this means that a cycle that you are a part of has not ended, because you still have some things that you need to learn from that. And right off the bat, we do have the King of Pentacles here. So this could involve a Capricorn, Taurus, or a Virgo. But this could also be saying that the lessons that you need to learn when it comes to your possessions and maybe finances is something that really needs to be focused on in the beginning of your March right off the bat, okay? Now, with the Knight of Pentacles here, it's definitely saying that when it comes to your finances or when it comes to the people in your life, you need to make sure that whatever is not serving you is gone, is not a part of your life anymore. Also, having the King of Pentacles here and then the Knight of Pentacles here, I do think this is symbolizing a Capricorn in your life, or it could be a Taurus, but I'm leaning a lot more towards Capricorn for you Geminis who have Capricorns in your life. What needs to be learned from this cycle? Two of Swords in reverse. You need to be more receptive to receiving information. This is what this is saying. So you still have a lot of learning to do when it comes to finances, or when it comes to this Capricorn or this earth sign. But I do think it's about finances and kind of learning how to maximize what you have, or maybe how to handle your money better. And I think you have the resources to do so. You just haven't done the necessary steps to really get to the end of this cycle. So you will still have to continue it until you get finished with it, until you learn what you have to learn from that and move on. Now, with the Two of Cups in reverse, we're moving on to this card. Love is just not of the essence right now. Why is this Two of Cups in reverse? Four of Cups, because you're still thinking about things that are not necessary. You're thinking about things that are not the end all be all for this relationship. I think that you're focusing on all the negative things and not focusing on the blessing up here that can be provided in this love situation. It could be involving a Cancer, but I do think it's just a situation where it's time for you to move on and travel from this love situation, or travel from whatever insecurity that you're harboring in that relationship. You need to have either cut your losses with this person, meaning you need to just be okay with the fact that you guys are not together anymore, or you need to have that difficult conversation that needs to be had in order to salvage the relationship. Is this a relationship that is still ongoing? So yes, this is still going on. For some of you, so for a lot of Geminis, this is saying that you can be a part of this relationship and it can go further than where it's at, but you need to have that conversation that's really difficult and work on your communication skills with this person. And then also stop focusing on all of the bad things and focus on why you're still in the relationship in the first place. Now let's see if you guys should be together. If you guys should be working on this relationship. So you guys can be. It really just depends on the situations at hand, depending on who you are as a Gemini and who you're with. I think you do want this to work, but in order for it to work, you have to stop being, or whoever is being super emotional, you have to put that aside and start to work on your communication skills, okay? Because we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. We have the Sun card here, so this is what you want. And then Ace of Swords, work on the communication, work on being honest, work on having the sword-like precision whenever you're communicating with your partner if you want this to work, okay? So a little love advice in the beginning of your March, okay? Yeah, but it is stemming from disappointment and depression in this love situation. So if you want to fix that, you're going to have that talk. You're going to have to work on that communication and then put things to rest once you talk about it. You can't harbor those feelings, okay? Because then it'll cause you to do some type of betrayal with the Seven of Swords, and you don't want that to come back to bite you in the ass, okay? So Two of Wands in reverse is what's next. So I think you guys are having a hard time choosing what you want. What does Gemini want? You're overwhelmed by all of these options that you have, and a Tower moment is coming your way because of all of this confusion that you're having. You're very confused emotionally on what you want. What is this involving? Yeah, it's keeping you up at night. You have lots of thoughts about this, and your emotions are kind of everywhere. There may be a Virgo that you're thinking about, or this is saying that you need to be to yourself. Right now, you thinking about all of these other possibilities and all these options are not helping you at the moment. What is it that, what possibilities are they looking at? What are the possibilities that are overwhelming them? So you're unable, it was in reverse, but you're unable to make a decision on something because you can't find your footing. You can't find the confidence that you needed to, not the confidence, but you're not able to have a strong stance on something because you don't have any real footing in the situation. And I think it's because you just have, you have an issue with kind of knowing what you're fighting for at the moment. So how will we fix that? How will you fix this situation? Ace of Wands. You have to find that creativity. You have to find that focus. You have to find that spark and that passion. And in doing that, I think you'll be able to figure out where your morals lie, where you lie when it comes to certain things in your life. And a lot of karmic things will start to happen. So change will come suddenly after you get to this point. And I think it's just going to take you putting in action and you just trying out different things instead of just like racking your brain about it, especially as an air sign. When you're balanced, it's very okay for you to have lots of thoughts, but when you're not in a position where you're balanced and you're having all of these thoughts and no action, you're not going to have any outcome from any of it, and so it's just going to drive you crazy. You need to find a way to reconnect with those that you need to reconnect with, and for a lot of you, that is family with the Ten of Pentacles, or people who are in your life that are very important to your domestic well-being. And I think it'll help you find peace of mind, okay? Also, for some of you, a maternal figure could be very helpful with the Moon card. Let's move to the middle of March for Gemini. In the middle of March, we have the Ace of Swords here. So communication is going to be key. You'll probably have some type of conversation with someone. Let's go ahead and see what this is about. What is going to be talked about? Ace of Swords in the middle of March. So I think you're going to be figuring out your plan. You're going to be talking about the plan that was non-existent in regards to your possessions. Who's in this conversation? Who's a part of this plan? I think you're also going to be honest with yourself on why you haven't been able to progress financially with your possessions. And I think it's going to be rooted by the Ace of Cups here, meaning it's going to be rooted by your emotions and your emotional life. It's been prohibiting you from being able to progress, which is also, I think Pisces had the same kind of issue as well, and they're working on that in March as well. So again, check out that video if you feel the need to. But it's definitely saying you're going to be honest with yourself, or you may have a conversation with someone. It could just be yourself, because you know Gemini are the twins, so you're kind of, you embody talking to yourself, as in talking and seeing other points of views, even though it's just one person. So yeah, you're going to be honest with yourself, and I think you're going to realize that the reason that you haven't been able to progress is because of your emotional state. Moving on, we have the Strength card here. So this is going to be healthy for you. This is going to be something that really promotes a healthier way of getting to the bottom of things, and I think you're going to have a more courageous outlook on things. What is the Strength card trying to say? What is the Strength card saying? Okay. This is also going to give you a little bit more reason to trust your relationship if you are choosing to still be in one. After you have this talk about progression and how your emotional life affects your financial life, I think the Strength card is showing up to say you're going to work harder to have more trust in your relationship, or it could strengthen your relationship and add more trust to it just because you guys had that talk as well. With the Death card here, it is saying that a new cycle will begin in regards to this relationship, and I do like to see this. For some of you, it will be a change in your everyday life, meaning you guys change up how you interact. Some of you may change if you're living with them. Some of you may think that you need more time apart. It just depends on how the situation went, and all of that's going to come from self-evaluation within the relationship. Okay, moving to the Knight of Swords in reverse. There's quick movement mentally, and let's see, what are we thinking? It's like you're thinking without. Okay, so when it comes to your possessions, you're gonna start just making movements in that, because I think you realize that time is, it's not running out, but you feel like it is. In regards to this earth sign, in regards to this earth sign, if you have an earth sign in your life, you're also moving, you're doing things without thinking with this person. The Queen of Cups here is also backing this up, saying that emotionally things are going well with this person. Or it could be another water sign popping up here that you're doing these things with. But like I said, with the Knight of Wands here in reverse, it's almost like you're doing things without really planning them. You're just like going with the flow, which could be okay as long as it's balanced. We do have the Libra card here. But behind that, we have the Gemini card, or the Lovers card here. So if you are a person who is doing things without thinking and then it blows up in your face, that's why. Because it's going to show you this is what happens when you play with fire when it comes to love. So make sure if you are doing things without thinking, make sure it's all out of good vibes and not like negative or karmic intention, okay? Because it will come back. At the end of March... Okay, so 8 of Pentacles here, so you're definitely focused on working, okay? I really like to see this. This means you're putting a lot of investment in your work life, maybe even in your day-to-day life routine. 6 of Swords saying you're still in that cycle. You're still learning how to get to the next phase when it comes to work. What needs to be worked on in order for Gemini to get to the next phase? Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So your day-to-day routine needs to be adjusted. There's still something in your day-to-day life that is not of benefit for you. It's still prohibiting you from being able to transition from this kind of loop of the same thing happening. What needs to be taken out of the day-to-day life? What needs to be taken out of the day-to-day routine? So what needs to be taken out, we have the Princess of Swords in reverse. So I'm showing you this way. This card basically is saying that there's so many new possibilities coming your way, but in order for you to achieve these things, you have to reflect on yourself. And for a lot of you, for some reason, that's really hard for you to do at this moment. You still haven't really looked and seen what faults are yours. Once you do that, there's so many things that'll happen and blossom, and you'll be able to transition to the next shore. And that means a new phase in your life. But it's like you're still stuck when all you have to do is look within yourself. But if for some reason that's really hard for you to do, or you can't really own up to what you've done, then you'll stay in this cycle. That's what that's saying, okay? No matter how much you work to try to get out of that. Now moving to the Empress card here. This is my card for any earth sign, but I usually correlate it with Virgo. But this card is basically saying you're at a moment where you are definitely appreciating your possessions, and you're at a point where you value what you have worked for thus far. This could also be a sign of pregnancy for some at the end of March. So congratulations if you are one of those folks. Why is the Empress card showing up here? So I like to see this. So the Empress card is leaning more towards the work life of your life or whatever. We have the 4 of Pentacles here and the 3 of Pentacles. So this is saying that you are cooperating very well in your work life with co-workers. you're not stepping on anyone's toes. And then with the Four of Pentacles, it's saying you're able to save, you're really focused on your money. And with that being said, you are able to appreciate all the things that you have, which is the Empress card. So I do think that you resolve, or you get to a position where you're able to understand financially what you have, and you're feeling a lot more confident in that area of your life going towards the end of March. We end your March with the Fool card in reverse, okay? So there could be someone who's being naive about a situation. Why is the Fool card coming up? Okay, so we have the Aries here, maybe. That's coming up, maybe from your past. But I think you're being a little naive because you're still learning some things. So what are we learning about? What is Gemini being naive about? Okay, so you could be being naive about a Scorpio, or just a cycle that you think is over and it's not yet over. Again, there's like this endless cycle of you trying to get to the bottom of things, but I think for some reason with this King of Swords in reverse, it's like you're being manipulative to yourself. You're not allowing yourself to fully blossom because you keep getting trapped in some form of some cycle that's persistent in your life. You're not ready to let go of it, or you feel like you have let go of it because you're changing, but if the other person or the other side of the situation has not changed, then it's not really anything different. But for some reason, it's really hard for you to grasp that, even though you're doing so well in other parts of your life. And I think that's part of the issue. You're doing well in other parts of your life now, so you think that things have changed in that one part that you're supposed to leave, or the part that you have decided to put on the back burner. But it's gonna take a little bit more gusto than that. What can be done to solve this issue? Yeah, for a lot of Gemini, it's going to be, you're just going to have to let this person go. If this is a person who is in your life, you're just going to have to let it go and stop thinking so emotional about it. Love situation is going to pop up later in April. Be ready to watch that video whenever April comes around. As far as this March, this is probably going to be a very eventful March for you. It's probably going to be a battle. As long as you're prepared to take on the task and to focus on your finances or the structure of how things go, then I think you'll be okay. All the other stuff, it'll be worked out within itself, or it'll be worked out later in April, because it may be more focused on your romantic life. If you would like a personal or private reading with me so you can get to the bottom of this situation, or if you have other questions stemming in career, finances, relationships, your aura, if you're progressing in life, if there's energies around you that are bugging you, you can email me at lovefromaleo@gmail.com to book a private reading with me. I'm Love from a Leo. If I'm not your favorite Leo, one day I will be. And until next time, Gemini, I will see you very, very soon.